What is the main block that you see in your clients and people? Something that is common?
I think for the most people, I've noticed issues around the chest area. And I think most of us, for various reasons, we live our life with a broken heart. You know, we've been hurt and we've never been taught how to grieve and how to release from the hurt. And the hurt can come very, very early on. I know in some of the bioenergetic books, Alexander Lowen talks about your first love object being your mom's tit, right? If your nourishment, you love your mom's boob, right? If you're experiencing that and loving it, there's a lot of stuff that goes on between mom and baby. It's fascinating breastfeeding, like what really goes on in that connection. But sometimes if a parent has to go to, let's say, work now, you know, like 3 months later, you have this whole connection, and then all of a sudden, boom, stop. You kind of lost that first love object, and that creates a heartbreak. And then, of course, when you become an older child, sometimes your parents may be very strict with you, or maybe you had a traumatic experience at school, stuff like that. And then you live with this heartbreak. And what I've noticed is that some people, they have like a closed off chest, you know, and that's a survival mechanism, right? And then there's also the puffed up chest, which is also a survival mechanism, right? What it does is that it doesn't allow you to really feel and give love in an open way. There's a blockage there. And that's something that I've noticed in a lot of my clients, that it's just like, okay, let's soften up the heart, let's soften up this area so that give and feel love in a peaceful way.
Sounds good. And it's very common in our society, actually, that people have this facade, this coldness with their heart, you know.
Yeah.
And we're all living in our ego and our masks.
And we can't express it, right? Like you were a boy, I was a boy. At some point, we were also told you can't cry.
Yeah,
that's a big one too. And that is one of the biggest, most amazing ways that our body has in order to release the sadness of a broken heart, you know?
Especially for men, actually. It's so common that men think, if I cry, I'm not a man anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually tell them it's the reverse. If you cry, this is the power, this is the strength, because you are owning your vulnerability.